two things, right? So the two parallels, reason why it goes together is because the PPP loan thing was a situation where, again, it just showed how much a lot of us don't understand that financial crimes you do not that they can link that back to you. A lot of us, whether intentionally or unintentionally, have probably done it or tried to do it, right? And not only what you saw, because what really happened was, and I had no idea. Now listen, I feel like Umar Johnson. I had no idea this was even going on, right? And what people were doing was they were either they filed for LLC after they applied for the loan. The idea was that you would be able to provide documentation that you had that business before you filed for it, which sounds easy enough because it's supposed to be for people who had businesses for them to be able to pay their employees and pay for the operations and stuff like that and give them a little a little lifeline, which again happened under Trump. Like so many things that black folks benefit. It's not they too. A lot of black folks and black business owners benefited from the PPP loan, and not only benefited, a lot of you niggas stole. Like you stole from the government via the PPP loan that the Trump administration approved you to get. Not only that, during that time, we never seen an administration give thousands of dollars to the American people. Y'all niggas ungrateful. But anyway, so I want to play this quick clip. Shout out to the content creator. He don't need my promotion because, way bigger channel than mine. Pause. Oh, wow. That's how we doing it. This is What It Looked Like TV. So we can go here.
Relief fraud scheme. See, the feds are not playing games. For those of you who's applying for those PPP loans and you ain't have a business, listen, the feds are coming. They are cracking down. And let me tell y'all, for those of you at the time, I know you probably thought it was a great time, but now y'all about to have the real PPP. Poor people problems in jail.
You can run, but you can't hide.
My coworker got fired for getting the PPP loan. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because I saw a girl's video saying that she just had her case with the feds regarding getting the PPP loan, like lying on the application, and she got sentenced to 9.5 years. 9.5 years. And I saw other people in the comments saying that they're going through their case. I saw somebody else say that they got sentenced for wire fraud. And these people are not playing. They are not playing, and banks are assisting. They are assisting in the process. As somebody who works in banking, who's worked in multiple different banks, the banks help the IRS. But let me tell you what happened with my coworker. So this is my coworker that turned into a friend. So I had already left the company by the time that she got fired. But ultimately, what happened?
Nigga, she is the coworker. All right. Whenever something pops up in the video, whenever, listen, when the braid is up in the bun, and they wearing a t-shirt, don't believe nothing they say. It's all a fantasy. Let's get it.
Was this was 2022. The list came out of everybody who had got the PPP loan. She obviously was on that list, and she ended up in HR. Clearly, the bank was looking at the list. Not my current job, y'all. Again, this is a company that I left. So don't call them people again, please. But she ended up in a meeting with HR. They asked her like, "Oh, you were on this list. You have a business," and basically there was a date that your business had to be established to qualify for the PPP loan, and a lot of people created LLCs after that date, and that's how they know if yours application was fraudulent. And so they told her like, I don't think that you qualified for this PPP loan based on when you established your business or whatever. But she didn't admit to anything. And her business was selling handmade jewelry, right? So the reason why they were able to fire her is because if you've ever worked for a bank, a financial institution, a brokerage, you have to disclose all outside business activities. It's regulatory. You have to sign off that you will disclose anything, any second job, any second source of income. If you're a part of the board of directors for any type of company, nonprofit, sometimes even volunteer work, you have to disclose it so that the bank can make sure it's not a conflict of interest. So basically they fired her because they said that her not disclosing that she had a business was violating company policy because she should have told them. And I'm sure y'all are going to say, well, she should have told them that, she stopped the business when she started working. I guess whenever she established it, she had already started working there. So like the days just didn't line up. But yeah, they fired her and said that it was because she didn't disclose that she had a business. But if she had disclosed that she had a business, it wouldn't have been a conflict of interest for her to sell handmade jewelry. They fired her because of that PPP loan. And that was just their excuse. So be careful, y'all. They are coming.
A Tampa woman was sentenced to prison for defrauding a bank for nearly $600,000 in PPP.
Yo, fam. I don't listen now. We don't know the race or the woman that did it. But I'm just saying, bro. Listen, a lot of us got caught up in this shit, and years ago, I was with my father. It's when he had flipped his first property. It was probably one of the best things that ever happened to me because I got to see and experience being around someone have a really successful moment. You know what I'm saying? Or have be able to experience someone being able to get a lot of money at one time, right? Which is always an amazing feeling. Sorry. It's always an amazing feeling because you get to kind of witness the power of resources, right? Because with that money, my dad was able to start a business. He was able to give himself multiple lifelines when he needed to live somewhere for a little bit. He was able to live in one of his properties. He really gained a lot from just those few transactions. And with that money, creating the business and creating that, the daycare and whatnot, that provided jobs for everyone. They had money to spend. It was killing it, right? And I said it was a great thing because I remember one time we was in the car. It's back when we had this big ass spaceship truck. It was the flyest shit ever, most ostentatious car ever. And he said to me, "How I got this car?" Because he was pointing out how like, yo, we in this car, and everybody's looking at us in this car. Right, so listen, a lot of you niggas, with the way you live, you'll never experience what it felt like for niggas to look at you while you driving. But anyway, so he always pointed out. Well, he pointed out the fact that he said, "Yo, you know how I got this car? Well, hard work, and I didn't do anything that's gonna get me in trouble. If you want to get good things in life, you gotta work your ass off." And I always appreciate him saying that to me, right? Because I always replayed that moment in my head. Not that I ever thought that I did have to work hard, but I always replayed that moment in my head. Right, especially when he pointed out I didn't have to do anything that would get me in trouble, because he always will not always let me know, but one time we did have that talk. We said, yo, like if I wanted to, like I could be back in the street making real good money, but I'm not going to take a chance and get in trouble. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, and I appreciate him not doing that, because if my dad had done that, then it would have maybe influenced me and my siblings to do some street shit. Cause a lot of times, if you think about it, right, people who get locked up, a lot of times they come from a family of people who are also, like in the life, I guess you could say, or people who also been locked up, or they doing them type of things.
PPP funds. Here's my thing. They saying she took 600,000, but she was only sentenced to 24 months in federal prison and ordered to forfeit $7,500 only. First, she was facing 30 years and $1 million fine. I'd have took that deal too. Now, how she did this was she recruited family members and friends and submitted false applications and documents in order to obtain the PPP money. Then she created fictitious businesses and email addresses to fool loan officers into thinking they was communicating with the real borrowers. And in exchange for her services, she said she would handle all the necessary paperwork in return for half of what they qualified for. For example, one person was approved for and received $20,000, and out of that, $7,500 went into her personal account. At the end of the day, it's not worth it. Just build your business and your business credit profile the right way, and you won't end up in jail for stuff like this.
You would pretty much expect the comments of.
All right, so you kind of get the whole gist of what happened. And again, going back to that loser mindset, the loser mindset never wants to take the way that it's going to be inconvenient. The loser mindset never wants to experience any kind of pain, discomfort, confrontation. Again, we all suffer from the same things. Again, the fallout of feminism, long-term effects of female leadership, you may not realize it, but your way of solving problems is by going about it in the most passive way possible. Going about it in a way where you do not actually solve said problem. Because the reason why it's not happening is because you're not willing to do what it takes. And that's where masculinity, comes in handy. You understand? So I'm gonna go ahead and play a little more of this Klarna shit real quick. We're gonna cook on that. We're gonna get out of here. Going up out of here. Where is it at? All right, so back to the glitch, man. So
if y'all is missing out on Klarna, y'all are
Basically, the playmaker or the scammer
is going on the dark web and buying profiles. The profile is coming with a name and a social security number. But here's the significant part of it. They're buying
On a credit, and that ended up being a glitch.
that it usually wouldn't give them. So I guess we consider it a glitch.
I gotta stop him right there, and I gotta point this out.
All right, shout out to the content creator. I think it's called What It Looked Like TV. Shout out to them. This nigga doing numbers. He don't need my shout out, but he doing numbers. Fair use.
Gotta point out the stupidity in what he just said. The glitch was you downloaded the app and you applied for a line of credit and you got the line of credit and that ended up being a glitch. Stupid. So you expected to get absolutely nothing? That's what it's gonna be sooner or later. It's not gonna be none of these low, high interest rate, unsecured type loans because y'all blowing it because y'all think it's a glitch. No, it's a loan with a high interest rate. That's what it is. It's a loan, and it's a bad one at that. It's not a glitch.
Now, if a playmaker or a scammer came to you and told you that, and then you accessed your own identification, your own social security number, and then you split the profits with them, that's crackhead shit, because you could have did that yourself. Now, what's going to be the consequences of that? Yes, in 6.5 months, it's going to show up in collections. And if the balance is significant enough, they're going to garnish your wages, they're going to sue you, they're going to levy your bank accounts, they're going to take your taxes, whatever you got to do to get the money back. Facts, that's what's going to happen. Now, what's the other way that they was doing it? Play 2 is more significant. Play 2 is what mostly everybody is doing. Basically, the playmaker or the scammer is going on the dark web and buying profiles. The profile is coming with a name and a social security number. But here's the significant part of it. They're buying a profile of somebody that has very good credit or decent enough credit where Klarna is going to give them a significant spending limit and matching it with the identity of the person who consented with the playmaker or the scammer that they could utilize their identity to access this spending limit on the Klarna app. That's why they ask you to bring them common names.
Man, you ain't trying to do this Klarna shit, bro. Niggas is not using your social nothing. Just need your ID. Or find some other people that got some common names and shit. You're not using their social. All right, bro. Never mind it. You ain't gotta do it, gang. I ain't, you feel me, pressing you now.
Baby, I want you to download Klarna. Don't do nothing. Don't even put your name on it, but just download the app and call me right back. I got like at least 50,000 on the floor. You hear me? Yeah. As soon as you download that bitch, hit me right back. You said your sister ain't do that shit either? Oh yeah. I need her too. See about your mama and your daddy. Yeah.
All right, so a lot of y'all really enjoyed that video, so I wanted to expand on a little more. So I actually learned a little more about it by watching this video, because I only watched the first part, and I ain't gonna lie, I kind of just felt like I had it all figured out, and I've come to understand as a leader, you have to always open your mind up, except for stuff with like your butt stuff like that. I'm not open to keeping it a stack with you. All right, I'm not judging. I'm not judging.
So everybody go get your rap on.
Go ahead and get your rap on. But anyway, so I saw some niggatry going on, and I just said, you know what? I'm straight. I was straight. I just figured, well, either way, what we were looking at was a lot of us don't really understand what crime is, and a lot of reasons why I think a lot of us can get caught up in the criminal justice system is because your understanding of right from wrong. Even I always laugh at the intro to Juicy where Biggie was like, shout out to the lady who's called the cops on me when I was trying to make some money to feed my daughter. You know what I'm saying? It's all good, baby. Biggie, you were outside of her building selling crack. What you want her to do? You want her to just say, oh, man, he trying to sell crack to feed his daughter, man. Leave him alone. No, sir, you could have got a job. And listen, if 50 Cent exposed y'all years ago, he exposed the hustler concept, the hustler culture years ago. He said, yo, when he was outside hustling, if you factor in the time you go to jail, the time that you spend outside, the hours you spend outside, it's really less than minimum wage, my nigga. All right? It's really just about, honestly, a lot of these hustling niggas, you mostly just didn't want to go to a job where you had to be there on time. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just how you just wasn't disciplined. Because if you can stay outside and also consistently have to always be on lookout for violence. Because if you work as a UPS worker, no one's ever trying to shoot at the UPS worker. That's not a thing. No, and rest in peace to that family. But anywho, so this Klarna method, right? They spoke to why were people? Because you had people who actually. Matter of fact, let's bring back to the dude who actually. Well, you got guys like this guy right here, right? But I want to go to my nigga who had on the Pooh Shiesty. Here we go. Boom.
Go, y'all ain't catch the Klarna.
All right. We gotta ask ourselves, what kind of people are we? Who are we exactly that where if someone comes online with their face covered, we listen to them. Hold on, check this out.
It's up, man. Come on now. Hit my jack, hit my line.
So he said, I think this Klarna method was a gift from Santa for Christmas. Anyway, one more thing too. Yo, if you can find a fly way to like to brand whatever you're doing and just don't call it what it is, niggas will buy into it, yo. I don't care what you say. Niggas will buy into that shit. Cause like, yo, y'all will do crimes and call them shits methods, right? That shit is crazy. No, nigga, this is the Klarna, it's the Klarna crime. All right. And on top of that, fam, they coming for their money. Especially if you just got some money and didn't have to give anything. If you owe somebody money, they coming from the stacks, bro. But I wanted to say, yo, we really have to be worried about our people because we literally, again, we have so many of us who saw this nigga with a Pooh Shiesty on and thought, yo, I need to go see what he's talking about.
Go, y'all ain't catch the Klarna wave yet? If y'all didn't, man, y'all ass better get the fuck up and get to it, man. This finna be burnt out very soon, so y'all.
Yo, this nigga gotta be a secret double agent, a CIA double agent from the Undercover Brother movie. This nigga put a mask on and said, if y'all ain't start doing this criminal activity, I don't know what you waiting for. Listen, I know I could have made that more explosive, but hey, listen, I'm not here to be perfect for y'all. But anywho, so I wanted to show that real quick. I'm like, yo, there's something about a Pooh Shiesty and niggas hiding their face that makes black folks just kind of go crazy and just feel like, yo, they had to get to full attention. But that speaks to more dysfunctional problems that we got. But anyway, it's a Sunday night. We had an hour and 25 minutes, man. So I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all go, man. I love y'all. Subscribe to the channel, man. Hope y'all been listening. First of all, you know I've been stuffing.